All right, so we're at this spot, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get this car towed home. What I thought was just a leftover oil spill, the oil filter is actually loose. Now, I did check the oil just now, and it is literally like a little bit over the 1 quart low mark. So luckily I checked before I actually jumped back in the car and turned it on. So because I have towing, this car is gonna get towed. Honestly, if it wasn't a weekend, I would just get it towed to Bomberas right now, to be honest with you. But I'm just gonna get it towed to the house, and then I'll get it towed up to Bomberas again on Monday. Now, could I just top this off? 'Cause I actually have like 5 quarts of oil with me, like no joke. I mean, let me show you guys this right now. Like, I come prepared. Ever since I boosted this car, I for real come prepared. Let me show you this right now. I got, you know, my paper towels and stuff like that. But if you guys can see in here, I mean, all these bags got oil. It's probably about 5 quarts of oil in the car. So I'm just gonna get it towed. I'm gonna show you guys actually right now. You guys can see, you know, that little puddle right there. I mean, it's, yeah, you can, it's leaking right now. So like, it's literally right above the fill line. Now the filter is actually over there as well, but you're not going to be able to see it with the GoPro. But I did throw my phone in there. I might include the video. I did throw my phone in there, and there is some oil. Oh my gosh, slipping around. There is some oil on the filter, and I'm pretty sure it's leaking from the filter, and it kind of made its way back here. So I mean, it's probably leaked out. Ugh. It probably literally leaked out like half a quart, because I checked it yesterday and like the oil was in the middle of the dipstick, and now it's like at the top of, you know, where you need to add oil. So instead of going ahead and wasting that oil I have in the trunk, I'm trying to get it towed and get the oil changed and make sure the make sure the oil filter is tightened up. So whew, glad I checked it, because if I went ahead and started beating on the car, you know, this could be a completely different video. All right, so I'm sweating my ass off right now, but yeah, I got smoked on the tow, man. It's because I'm in Galveston. I need to take this car 60 miles, but I mean, I could have risked it, but I mean, it's too much of a risk, honestly, because if the oil filter is loose and it's leaking, it literally went through like half a quart, like within that 1 hour drive and stuff like that. And a fellow that was actually driving behind me said that he saw blue smoke from underneath the car, not from the exhaust, but underneath the car, which means the oil, it leaked enough to where it splashed potentially on the headers. And actually, the funny thing is, when I actually had this car up on the lift, when the exhaust manifold actually, you know, came disconnected from the X pipe, there was oil on the header. So I'm assuming that was from the previous time that this happened. So I'm not really trying to risk anything. If it's that bad, yeah, I'm not really trying to risk anything. So I'm just gonna get this car towed. I'm not gonna turn it on, obviously, until, you know, it's at Boyd's shop and, you know, we can get under the car and, you know, change the oil, change the filter, you know, tighten everything up, torque it down, and clean up any excess oil, and then we can go ahead and track, you know, what's going on. Because I mean, like $470 something for a tow. I mean, I called a couple other places, they said the same thing. It's because, you know, the amount of miles. So, you know, it is what it is, man. You gotta pay to play. Let me tell you that.
One eternity later.
Load it up. So it's a couple days later now. I actually went ahead and put a half a quart of oil into the Shelby GT350 and actually started it up. I stuck my GoPro underneath the car. That was the clip you just saw. to back it into the garage. I really didn't want to have the car sit outside because it is going to start raining quite heavily this week. And so far, I only saw that little oil drip kind of where the, I guess the plastic undercarriage protects the oil pan. Now what I believe actually went down was, I think it's old oil from a previous oil change that was just kind of stuck on that plastic cover protecting the oil pan. Because I did take the car to a laser wash, and you guys know, if you've been to a laser wash, if you don't know, obviously water splashes underneath the car to kind of clean underneath. And I think that caused some of the oil to drip that was already there, because the oil was cold. The oil was cold when I first noticed that oil drip, and it was also cold after I went ahead and started it up, but it only dripped like a little bit, and it was not from the oil filter area. And I believe just from the water splashing, it might have splashed some oil on the oil filter, and honestly splashed some of it on the headers as well, and that would go ahead and create that like bluish smoke underneath the car, not from the exhaust. So I honestly think that's what's going down, but I am gonna go ahead and get the car to a shop just to be sure, so I'm not driving around and doing pulls with, you know, something that potentially could be wrong with the vehicle. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't take about a week. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this video, but it doesn't take about a week for me to get the car into the shop. That's kind of the unfortunate thing, you know, when you have a car, you know, have an issue like on a Saturday or a Sunday, not an actual business day, you're gonna be backed up like at least a week, because obviously you're not in the system until, you know, that following Monday or Tuesday. So we're gonna have to wait about a week to go ahead and get this car in the shop. Now, one thing I am gonna go ahead and say is, if it is not the oil filter, and let's just say it is old oil, we are gonna have to change the oil like every 1,500, 1,600 miles, because that means this car is a quart low on oil after 2,000 miles of beating on it, and, you know, being in 100+ degree weather, which realistically makes sense for a Gen 1 Voodoo. So I'm gonna have to change the oil every 1,500, 1,600. I have no issue doing that, because honestly, like, that's kind of what I was expecting to do right after I boosted it. So that's gonna have to happen. Honestly, I do hope that it's just old oil. Again, when I turned on the car yesterday, I did not see any smoke. There wasn't like a ridiculous oil leak, but it's just something that I'm gonna have to make sure to get taken a look at as soon as possible. Also have an oil catch can, and this is all the oil that I used to, well, actually I just put this amount of oil in the car. I just topped it off like half a quart, just so I could turn it on to make sure there wasn't low on oil when I turned it on. So that's what's gonna go down. Honestly, what I need to do is go ahead and convert to the canister style oil filter to prevent, you know, the oil leak issue from happening, because I still have the spin-on filter, and if it's not torqued down to the proper 16 to 18 foot-pounds of torque, it could spin off slightly or completely and leak. Luckily, it didn't come off all the way. It just maybe it spun out a little bit. I'm not too sure, but I'm gonna keep you guys updated on what's going down when this car is up in the air, and we can kind of fully see and do a diagnostic what's causing the oil leak. Could be old oil, which I think it is because it's not hot, or maybe there's something else going on. But again, we're not gonna know until we actually get the car up on the lift and check it out. This video obviously is kind of out of order, man. Like, this happened like on a Saturday, and it's currently Wednesday when I'm recording this. Kind of ahead, and I wanted to put this video out at a certain time, but as I'm going ahead and recording this, the car does have an appointment scheduled for pretty much the diagnostic as well as the oil change, because I mean, it needs the oil change. It's been 2K miles in the car, hard 2K miles in the car. We also have a road trip. We went to Dallas, on that oil, so we're gonna get that changed up. Honestly, from what I'm seeing, I literally think it's just a sloppy oil change job, and the car is just consuming, you know, damn near a quart of oil every 2,000 miles, which makes sense. I mean, I just boosted the car. It's been 100+ degrees outside. I've been running it when it's 100+ degrees outside, and it's a Gen 1 Voodoo. So, you know, changing the oil every 2,000 like I have been doing, if that's when the oil starts to you know, get consumed, it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? So we'll just continue as maintenance demands it. Like, it was literally raining where I was at, and then as soon as I get on the main road, it stops. Like, that's Houston for you right there, man. Like, it coming down literally a block behind me, but in front it ain't. Okay. If you don't live in Texas, you won't understand, but it's kind of funny how that works out. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and get this car ceramic coated though, because this like kind of on and off rain, when it's 100+ degrees outside, that water heats up pretty quick. I don't want to have water spots on this car because it is literally new. That would kind of suck. Oh, which, look at that, Texas finest on the back of a tow truck. What happened there? Oh, looks like somebody wrecked it. Running and raining it. Texas finest up here. Hello, good sir. We almost coming to a stop at a green light, y'all. What is going on up here? We got a 5th gen on some big ass wheels. It's crazy how this car will literally pop. Like, it's still got cats in it. Like, and look at the traffic up here. Jesus, we still got cats and everything, and this thing is popping. And they did right with this Gen 4. I'm headed out to go get gas right now because I gotta be up in the morning, and the last thing I want to do is have to stop at a gas station. So I'm at like 35 to E. I'm gonna need like more than 35 miles. So I'm getting gas right now. I'm not gonna put any E85 in this car. I'm gonna put 93 in just for the fact that weather's trash. It's gonna be raining, like, I think literally through Sunday, so I don't need E85 in the tank. You know, there might be some stuff going on Saturday depending on the weather. In all reality, there might be an opportunity for me to actually test out this car for real against some other vehicles on Saturday if I'm up for it. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do it or not, just for the fact that this car doesn't have, you know, very good tires on it, and I don't know if I want to be doing like second gear hits with other cars around if the ground is going to be potentially damp. Not wet, but potentially damp. You know, that could be kind of sketch. So, but we'll see though. We shall see. Stock tires are all right, but it does spin and it does slow down the time a little bit, ever so slightly, leaving in second gear. That's one thing I need to do with this car before I do even order the Whipple. I need to get my wheels and tires, which I do know what wheels I want to get, but kind of up in the air on what color I want to go with. Part of me wants to just get some like very like safety color wheels, something that, you know, is going to guarantee to look good, but it's kind of going to be, you know, not really boring, but, you know, it's a safety color. It's not black, but it is a safety color. Or if I'm going to do something like bam, I don't know, we'll see if I'm up for it. I kind of just want to do the safety color because this is technically like the daily right now, because you can be tuned, and you know, just with just a Whipple on top of it, headers and better wheels and tires. I mean, it'll be a quick car, but it's not going to be fast because obviously it's on, you know, the Whipple tune, which realistically isn't bad, but you know, you guys know it's still 93 E30 limited, or 93 with, you know, Boostane limited. You only can make and do so much, especially with the manual. I'm not really too worried about going crazy. Once it's, you know, tunable, then we can do something different, but I think I'm just gonna go with the safety color. I'm not gonna say what wheels. They're not Apex wheels. I kind of gave up on getting Apex wheels for the fact that, you know, they're always out of stock. It's like not even funny. They're still out of stock. They've been out of stock for 3 months, so I'm just like, forget it. I'm not gonna go for it. It's not worth waiting around. Woo! Shit, I almost kind of hydroplaned right there. I felt it. Car kind of got away from me for a second. Jesus. Thankfully, I have a car that doesn't have like a drag radial on it. And I'm not gonna put like a crazy radial on the car either. I'm just gonna go with the Mickey Thompson, not the Mickey Thompson, excuse me. I'm gonna go with the Nitto R2s because those actually worked 30-degree weather. It hooked up 600 horsepower in a 3,100 pound car, so I think it should be able to hook up literally 700 horsepower in a car that weighs almost 4,000 pounds. So we're gonna go with the R2s, and for the fronts we're just gonna get the G2s, but we're gonna get the 275 in the front. I think it can fit 285s. I'm not really caring about having like the lightest setup. I just want to have something that looks good, but I think we're gonna go with the 285s in the back or in the front, and then get like a 315 in the rear, because the rear will be a different size tire. All right, we're pumping that 93. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and completely fill it up too. I don't want to have the potential of having some type of weird blend, even though I believe all the E85 is pretty much out the car now. My tent is dark as hell. I think it's gonna stop at like 50. $55? Nope, 53. hate how it's raining like this. We went from a nice dry week to wet. I wonder how long it's gonna take for this thing to for real go ahead and correct the AFR though. That's what I'm really curious about, because this is definitely not an E85 or E30 blend no more. We're gonna be straight on 93. In about 30 miles. I'll keep you guys up to date though if it returns, if the AFR kind of returns. It's actually kind of starting to return right now. I'm not gonna lie. I think it'll fully return after I put 30 miles on the car. And that must suck to have all those bikes out and it's starting to rain. Dang. Because this car is dumping, currently it is dumping more fuel because we were on that E30 blend. Yeah, I'm cruising, it's like 14. 13.8, 14, cruising. Woo! And look at it in front of me, like it's starting to clear up. Man. You can see though that it's 270/60E. How it kind of reads with that E30 blend red. I bet you it's gonna jump. Actually, it really would make sense. No, it wouldn't. So the computer still is technically reading the E30 blend. I'll keep you guys up to date on what this thing does. I kind of blocked this 392 off. I kind of feel bad. All right, so as you guys can see here, just sitting at like a stoplight, the AFR is starting to actually go up. It's going back to like the 14.3, 14.5. I guarantee you, as soon as I put about like 25, 30 miles in the car, it's gonna be literally back to what it was stock. So if you are wondering how you should, I guess, correct the E30 blend if you want to go back to 93, make sure you just top the car off with 93 and then just, you know, drive and just burn the E85 off, and it'll kind of go back to, you know, where it was. Like I said, I'll keep you guys updated when we put about 30 miles in the car. I'll know tomorrow morning when I put about 30 miles in this car going to my destination, what it's going to be like. But I wanted to go ahead and add this in this video right now because I know some of you guys are probably curious. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, make sure you drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully it doesn't rain all weekend, but if it does, oh well. Deuces!